Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to this Sunday live. I'm going to give some people a few minutes to get up on in here. It's going to be very informative today. Hopefully, I could change some people's thought process today and help them start pre-planning towards retirement, right? But today's going to be amazing. Going to be a lot of information, and I hope you guys, take some notes. And also too, you know, um, let me just leave my contact. Let me give you guys my contact. Because as we're going through this, it's going to be a bunch of information, and you guys can also message in the chat too if you have any questions. So I can answer it for you guys, right? Because there's going to be a lot of information that we're going to go over today. The ultimate goal, is to help people, start to plan for retirement. That's the ultimate goal, to help people start to plan for retirement. A lot of people don't know what to do. A lot of people have a lot of questions, right? And they don't have answers to, or they don't know where to get the answers to. Okay. So my direct number where I can be reached, I prefer text message because I answer text message, so much more quickly. Uh, that number is 443-208-5480. That's 443-208-5480. Or you can email me at evolve@titanevolutiongroup.com. That's evolve@titanevolutiongroup.com. So listen, we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into it because I don't want to hold you up on this beautiful Sunday, right? So the topic for today is the number one retirement move. The number one retirement move. Hey, listen, if you got money in a 401k, an old job plan, or even just cash sitting in the bank, and you're over 40, tonight I'm going to show you why billions of dollars are quietly moving into annuities and how that can mean guaranteed lifetime income. Guaranteed lifetime income and protection from losing your shirt in the market. Hey Bianca, welcome to my live. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining. Right? I'm gonna show you tonight, right, why billions of dollars are quietly moving into annuities and how that can mean guaranteed lifetime income. The number one fear for most retirees, is running out of money. They actually fear that more than dying. As we're going through this live, I want you to just picture in your mind being 65 years old, being 70 years old, being 80 years old, and not having any money. I did a video the other day, about a few weeks ago. It was an article that came in on, I believe it was either Yahoo News, I think it was Yahoo News, of a woman who was, I believe, 83 years old, working at a boat store for, I believe, $15 an hour because she couldn't afford to retire. I believe she was 83 or 85 years old, somewhere around there, because she could not afford to retire. In the article, it stated that she said that she didn't plan for retirement and she wished she had, in the article, right? Let me step back for a second. Let me, some of you guys who are watching this today, some of you guys know me, some of you guys are my clients, but if this is your first time running across my channel, right, or my platform, let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Maxwell Atkins Senior. My company is Titan Evolution Group. I've been in the industry now. I've been in the financial service industry now for about 17 years, or almost 2 decades. Okay. And what I specialize in specifically is safe retirement strategies. Is what I don't do risky planning. Okay. Because we've seen what has happened to a lot of people from 2000, 2008, and what's going on right now. So I personally don't believe, especially once you pass a certain age, I do not believe in risky investment. So what I specialize in is safe retirement strategy that guarantees a lifetime income and also protect your money from stock market loss. Okay, that's my specialty. And what we're going to go over today in this live is what annuities really are. A lot of people don't understand annuity. A lot of people don't even know what it is. Okay. Also, too, why annuity sales just hit record levels in the United States. What does that mean? In the past 3 or 4 years, annuity sales have increased year over year, year over year. And we're going to go over why that is, right? Why people are choosing annuities over things like 401k or stock markets, right? And how to see if an annuity makes sense for your retirement is what we're going to go over today. All right. Listen, as you're watching this, right, do me a favor. Okay. I want you guys to put in the chat. How old are you? If you're 30, put 30. If you're in your 40s, put 40s. If you're in your 50s, put 50s. If you don't have to put your exact age, but listen, what age range are you in right now? Are you in your 30s? Are you in your 40s? Are you in your 50s? Are you in your 60s? So I know who I'm talking to. Hey, hey, Trudy, 18? Okay, no problem. Welcome to my live. Trudy's actually one of my longtime clients. She's had quite a few retirement plans with me. Annuities, one of them. Also, Index Universal Life, which is another big one. Bianca, born in the 70s, awesome. So was I. Hey, listen, a lot of 70 babies are looking amazing. A lot of 70 babies are looking amazing. People in their that was born in their 70s look like they're in their 20s and 30s. So I can understand why Trudy put 18. So I get it. Listen, I want you to comment right now in the chat if income is your biggest fear for retirement. If you're fearful that you may run out of money without a proper strategy plan for retirement, I want you to put in the chat income. Okay? And listen, if anything I say tonight is hit home to you, again, let me leave my number so you guys can contact me. I work best by way of text message. I got some clients on here, they know me. If you call me or text me, I usually hit you back within 24 hours, But my number again is 443-208-5480. That's 443-208-5480. Okay. Now let's get into it, right? The retirement crisis in America is starting to scare a lot of people. And the 401k, a lot of people are realizing it just simply doesn't work, right? Let me go over some data because I love data because data tells stories, okay? Data tells stories, okay? In the U.S. today, right, the average 401k balance right now in the United States of America is between $138,000 to $148,000. according to Vanguard and Fidelity, who are the biggest um, manager of 401ks, right? So I want you to picture that. And I want you to ask yourself a question. One, who can retire off of $138,000 or $148,000? Who can retire off of that? Probably nobody. Nowhere in the United States can you survive off of that kind of money. The second question is this: why is the average so low? Well, if you take a look at multiple market crashes that people have gone through, I got into this industry in 2008. And if some of you guys are watching this, you know what happened in 2008. Okay. Okay. And some people are literally just now recovering from that. That was almost 20 years ago. I remember in 2012, I was referred to a couple out in Bethesda, Maryland. I believe she was some kind of a doctor, and he was some kind of like a um, engineer or something, right? Combined between the both of them in 2008, 2009, 2010, they lost over 260K in their 401k. And these were people already in their late 50s and plan to retire soon. Because of that, they have to work longer. These are some of the reasons why the balances in these 401k are so low, because you got the ups and downs of the market, right? Fidelity's 2025, just this year, analysis shows the average 401k is about 137,800, with many people far behind the $1.2 million that you need to retire. And here's the deal. To me, that $137,000 is a little skewed. You know why? This is the average, a pool of everybody in the country who's contributing to these 401ks. If you remove $1 million earner from that pool, if you remove $500,000 earner, multi six figure earner, if you remove those people out of that, because those people are the one who's actually shooting the numbers up. Because on the average, those people are contributing 25, 35, 40% of their income in these 401k. If you remove those people, I'm willing to bet that the average 401k right now is probably no more than 60 something thousand to 70 something $1,000. Okay. Many Americans are rating their 401ks during hardships for withdrawals, more than double since 2018. And about 5% of workers took a hardship withdrawal in 2024, according to Fidelity, right? Listen, most people think, oh, I have a 401k and I'm good. That's the mindset, okay? But the average balance in America is around 140,000. If you retire with that and live 25 to 30 years, that's not a lot of income. And the reason why I love the annuity, because of the guaranteed income portion, which we're going to go over. And the reason why companies have that part of the annuity, because a lot of people are not saving money, or either not saving enough money, or they save in the 401k, so they know that people are gonna, at a point in time, they're gonna go through, market losses. So these annuity companies put together these plan inside the annuity that's called a guaranteed income for life. Okay. And here's the deal: not all annuities cover that, so you got to find out what they're offering. If you're dealing with somebody right now that's offering an annuity, if annuity doesn't have that portion of it, it's not worth it. Again, listen, I'm actually a broker, so I deal with multiple different companies. So, and most of my companies, if not all of them, for the annuity do have that guaranteed income, portion, right? So again, I'm gonna leave my number, which is 443-208-5480, right? If the market crash the first 5 years, or I want you to picture it because this happened to this couple that I mentioned in 2008, I believe 2008, 2009. I met them in 2012, right? And this happens a lot to a lot of people who are on the verge of retiring, and that's when the market crash. If the market crash the first 5 years of your retirement while you're pulling out money, you can blow through your savings, even if the market's average good returns on paper. Most people don't understand how this 401k works. Again, a lot of people believe I got a 401k, so I'm okay, I'm good. Most people don't even open their statement to see how this 401k is performing, right? About 5 out of every 100 workers pulled a hardship withdrawal from their 401k in 2024, more than double the rate from 2028. That means people are using retirement money just to survive today, and it's killing their tomorrow. Listen, I had a few years ago, I had a client who I sat down with, and they was getting a life insurance policy and also preparing for their wedding. So I'm having a conversation with them, and 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 the wife told me she pulled out 60 grand from her 401k to cover a wedding. I'm not here to judge anybody, to each his own, but to pull out $60,000 and you're under the age of 59 and a half, you are going to have to pay at least $18,000 in taxes just to get that $60,000. So really, you took out $78,000 from your 401k to pay for a wedding. That it probably took you 7 years to 8 years to build up that kind of money. So literally, you think about it, you just set yourself 7 years back for retirement. And she's not the only one. A lot of people do stuff like you have people. Listen, you have people. I have a girlfriend right now who she's trying to buy a house, and she got some decent sized money in her 401k, and she wants to pull money out from it to put down like 100 grand to down payment. I told her don't do it. Figure out another way. And here's my reason behind that. She's 55. You pull out 100 grand from your 401k. You're paying 30 grand in taxes. That's 130k. You're 55 years old. You're gonna put yourself in a position where you have to work forever. This is people do this all day long. This is why most people cannot retire, because they're not getting sound financial advice. Hey Chad, how you doing? Welcome in. What is an annuity? What is an annuity? An annuity is simply a contract with an insurance company where you can turn a chunk of money into guaranteed income, often for life. So pretty much what it is you give the insurance company a certain dollar amount. They will now do some factoring in. You'll get some interest. You might even get some bonuses. They factor all that together and give you a check every single month until you die. I'm gonna give you an example. Earlier this year, I had quite a few clients. One specifically, I believe it was March of this year, right? They deposited 280,000. Okay. When we did the calculation, and I'm not going to go over the monthly, payment that this person going to get every single month, but this person is 63 years old. Okay. Now, the illustration is showing this person living all the way to age 100. Well, if this person lived all the way to age 100, but you only put in 280,000, somewhere around there, right? The amount the insurance company would have paid you is almost more than triple what you put in. This is the reason why most people love the annuities with guaranteed income for life, especially people who didn't save adequate retirement savings. Right? There are different types of annuities. So again, make sure you know what you're getting. One is what's called a fixed annuity. It's like a CD with an insurance company. It's really what that is. Okay. You get a guaranteed interest rate for a period of years, no risk at all. Okay. Then you have the one who a lot of people are getting into right now, which is the beast of them all, which is the fixed index annuity. With that one, your money is protected from any market loss, but your gross interest earning is tied to an index like the S&P 500. If the index goes up, you get a portion of that gain up to a cap. Okay, some company is about 7 or 8%, somewhere around there. Okay, but if the market goes down, you don't lose anything. That's the fixed index annuity. And then there's the variable annuity. That one is a risky investment. And I personally, and this is just me personally, I think if you're over a certain age, this is not something that you want to be in. Your money's actually in the market sub accounts. Is the easiest way I can explain this, right? You can make way more interest-wise, but you can also lose your principal. Okay, these are higher risk and fee heavy. They're good for some people who are risk takers and probably have like a lot of money to play around with, but it's not for everybody. And then you have the immediate or deferred annuity. And immediate annuity just means income starts right away. You give them money, they factor their calculation, they start to pay you right away. Okay. Deferred annuity, your money grows, then turn into income later. So you give them the money, it sits for a while, it grows, and then you start to get income later. Okay. That one also rates for that one is also a little bit kind of like low. So my personal favorite is the fixed index annuity. Okay, and that's the one that's exploding right now. Okay. Here are the key benefits to annuity. Again, if you're watching this, I want you guys to take some notes because I know you guys may have some questions later, right? One is a tax deferred growth, which means you put money in and it grows tax-free, tax deferred, right? Optional guaranteed lifetime income rider. So you do have the option to tack on the guaranteed income rider if you don't already come with it, right? Protection from outliving your money, which is huge. Which is, if you talk to some of these seniors, a lot of them end up having to move back in with their children because they literally ran out of money and they cannot survive off of just Social Security alone. You understand? A lot of people, if they would have sat down with an advisor and the advisor say, hey, you know what? You got this lump sum for retirement. I will suggest put it into an annuity, because at least that way, whatever little bit you put in, even after you've exhausted it, they still have to pay you a check until you die. Also with annuity, pretty much, it depends on when you pass away, you're able to transfer the money to your beneficiaries. Okay. Question for you guys in the chat. Have anybody ever heard of the index annuity before tonight? Yes or no? If you're on the chat right now, have you ever heard of the index annuities before tonight? Not just annuity, but the index annuity before tonight. I want you to type yes or no in the chat. No. Okay. Okay. What's more important to you? Again, another question. I want you to type in the chat. Maximum growth or never running out of income? It's a weird question. It's a weird question. But what is more important to you? Maximum growth or never running out of income? I want you to type in the chat growth or income. Truly for both. I like that answer. I like that answer because so the index annuity doesn't give you maximum growth, but I personally believe it'll allow you to get a pretty decent upside of the market, and at the same time, it'll allow you to guarantee your income for the rest of your life. Okay. $2023 U.S. annuity. I'm going to repeat this a couple of times so you guys really understand what's going on here. 2023 U.S. annuity sales hit $385.4 billion. A record. It went up by 23% from 2022. Let me say that one more time. In 2023, the U.S. annuity sales hit $385.4 billion. That was a record. And it went up by 23% from the previous year, 2022. In 2024, sales hit another record. This is last year. Around $432 billion. It went up by 12 to 13%. The annuity have grown in record sales for 3 years straight. Fixed index annuity sales alone hit about $125 billion in 2024, up by 31% from the previous year. Now, why do you think that is? A lot of people are realizing the safety factor in an annuity. A lot of people are also realizing I didn't save enough money. So I got to figure out a way that I don't run out of money. These are some of the main reasons why people are funneling money through an annuity, record high. They are projecting 2025 is going to be over $500 billion, almost a trillion. $500 billion will be going into an annuity in 2025. I always tell people when things are hot, you want to get into. A lot of people get into stuff when it's already too late. Right now, the annuity is hot. Right now, the annuities is hot. This year alone, one of my provider, they went way above and beyond to compensate customers. They were given 24% bonus. What does that mean? You give them $100,000, they tack on $24,000 on top of your $100,000. But that was for a limit. They did that for 90 days. And my clients who got in it, and they was excited about it. When you get to a certain age, last year, AARP put out an article last year. 30% of people between the age of 50 to 66 had zero retirement savings. 30% of people between the age of 50 to 66 had zero retirement savings. So if you're at that age and you're now trying to make a way to start to plan for retirement, it doesn't make sense to get into risky retirement savings like a 401k or like a stock market or mutual fund. Most people usually will gear towards the safety factor of the annuity. And because they're playing from behind, they also want the other side of it, which is, okay, I need my income to also be guaranteed to make sure I have something coming to me, until I pass away. Right? Many baby boomers retiring every day care less about beating the market and more about knowing the check will hit every single month. This is the reason why the annuity sale is growing, because a lot of people saw what happened in 2000. They saw what happened in 2008, and they don't want to go through that anymore. A baby boomer probably went through 4 different market crashes. They probably lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this go around, they say, no, we're not doing that anymore. I literally have clients that actually went through that. I've had clients that I was introduced to that lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in their 401k. More baby boomers retiring every day care less about trying to make money in the market or trying to beat the market, and they care more about knowing the check would hit every single month. This is the reason why they're all going into annuities. Right? If Wall Street is nervous and the news is scaring you, I want you to type in peace of mind in the chat. And because that's what people are really, and they choose an annuity. They are choosing peace of mind because they know their money will be there. They know they can sleep well at night. They know that when they wake up in the morning, that what they saw last night in their statement is still going to be there in the morning, or maybe better, but it's not going to be a loss. They also know that every single month they get that check. Every single month. Now, I'm going to transition into why an annuity versus a 401k or the market or CDs, right? Annuity versus a 401k. So, a 401k is actually what's called a deferred retirement plan, deferred tax retirement plan, but no guarantees on how long your money will last you. You're also subject to markets up and down and sequence risk. And a lot of people tap into these 401k like it's an ATM machine for hardship withdrawals or loan to buy a house or to pay for a wedding, things like that. Okay. An annuity you can convert a portion of that 401k or IRA into a guaranteed income for life. Now, what do I mean by that? So I'm gonna give you an example. I had a client who's still working, right? Has about $1 million, well, by now something in their 401k. 61 years old, said he still want to work for like another 3 or 4 years or so, but he wants to safeguard his money, a portion of it, just in case the market goes downhill. So we helped him move $500,000 into an annuity, and he kept the remainder there at the job, right? While he's still working. So he took a portion. Hey, let me save this instead of me waking up one day and 30 or 40% of what I've accumulated is gone overnight. Okay, that is the option. So it allowed him to still, in a way, leave some money in the market and see what it does. But it allowed him to take a huge portion and put it into an annuity, which by the way, when we move that money into that annuity, that 500 grand, okay, I believe it was like 10 years later, that money doubles to a little bit over $1 million, like 1,085,000, somewhere around there. That was a no-brainer for him. That was a no-brainer for him. Right? Listen, I don't hate 401ks. They are great accumulation tools. But many of you are retiring with 150K, 200K, maybe 300K, and no idea how to turn that into a paycheck you can't outlive. That's where annuity steps in. So I don't want you guys to think, oh, he's talking about 401k. No, absolutely not. What I'm going over with you guys today is the pros and the cons. And I personally believe once you get to a certain age, you want to start gearing more so towards safety and the return of your money than trying to play the market game. Right? Now, some of you guys are watching right now. You don't have a 401k, but you got stocks, you got brokerage account, right? Okay, stocks, great for growth. You're going to make money, but there's no safety at all. You make money, great. The market crash, you're going to lose money too, just so you know. And there's also no guarantee of income with stocks. You compare that to an annuity, it gives you that floor. If the market crash, you can't go below 1%. Okay, especially if you are in a fixed index annuity, right? Whatever interest rate that they're giving you, you don't go below that. You will always know the minimum you get for the annuity for life. You can gauge that with stocks or brokerage account, right? Annuity versus CDs and savings account. A CD is safe, FDIC insured, but interest may not keep up with inflation because the interest is usually lower, so you're not going to make any money. And definitely for sure, there's no lifetime income guarantees. With a fixed index annuity, often your interest rate is higher than CDs, and it's definitely higher than your savings account. Okay, it's also tax deferred growth because whatever you earn in your CD annually, you're going to get a 1099 at the end of the year to pay tax on. Okay, with an annuity, it's tax deferred growth. Okay, and then with annuity, again, you have the potential lifetime income options with the annuity, right? And let me ask you a question. I see a lot of people in this chat. Where you guys from? What city and state? Where you guys from? What city and state? And also, is this valuable information you're learning right now? Let me know. If you can take a portion of your retirement money, quick question. If you can take a portion of your retirement money, right, and guarantee you never outlive it, would you at least like to see the number? Let me say that one more time, real quick. If you could take a portion of your retirement money and guarantee you never outlive it, would you want to at least see the numbers? Type "show me" in the chat. Trudy from DC, Bianca, Clinton, Maryland. Yeah, I'm in Clinton a lot. I got a lot of clients in Clinton. Clinton, Brandywine, Upper Marlboro, that area. I got a lot of clients over there. Yeah, so again, type "show me" in the chat if you could take a portion of your retirement money and guarantee you will never run out of money during retirement. Would you at least want to see the number? Awesome. We're going to go over a few case studies, and these are a few of my clients. Obviously, I can't go into details, but right. They were on the verge of retiring. This is one couple here on the verge of retiring. Age 6. One was 60, one was 63. I think the husband was 63, I believe. They had multiple old 401k from previous job, and they just didn't want to go through another market crash. So this was about 2 years, last year, right? And what we did again, we helped them move the husband's own. We move 100% of that because that was from a previous job into an annuity. Okay, and the wife had hers still at the current job that she's working. I think it was close to $380,000. Because she's over the age of 59 and a half, was actually able to move the money, but we only move a portion into the annuity, and they love that. And with the one particular provider that I use, the average interest rate is about 7.4, somewhere around there. So it's a 10-year annuity, right? And in both cases, the money that we moved over for them about the year number 10, almost doubled. So again, it was a no-brainer. On top of that, when we ran the income simulator for them to see how much they'll be able to get during retirement, listen, they were happy. As a matter of fact, the husband was trying to get me drunk before I left out of there. He was trying to make me some drinks and stuff like that. The wife fed me and everything like that, because every other advisor that they talked to didn't offer them this. Right? The second person I want to go over is a lady who I did a life insurance for the husband, truck driver, and he had passed away. He had a heart attack while driving. This is about 3 years ago. And she got like a lump sum $280,000 life insurance check. And pretty much he said, "Hey, what should I do with this?" You know, we took a portion of it and we wrote it into an annuity, right? And the rest, she kept to pay bills and take care of things around the house and take off like 1 year from work and and just be able to heal in a way, right? So a portion of what we put away for her, again, is a 10-year annuity, fixed index annuity. By year number 10, a little bit more than double, what she deposited. Okay, and she's happy with that. All right, annuity doesn't just work for everyday people. Some people are business owners and they don't have retirement plans. So we could put together an annuity for them to kind of like create, an exit plan for them once they stop, working, or once they don't want to do their business anymore and they want out. They have some cash that they put away, for that time period of their life, right? Right. Question. Listen. Any questions right now? I'm gonna take a moment out to answer any question that you guys may have on this chat. Nobody have a question for me? Okay. I know a lot of people hear different things about annuity, and in most cases, when I talk to people about annuities, and they'll tell, "Oh, I heard this about annuities, I heard that about annuities," and things like that. So I'm gonna go over certain things that people say about annuities, and you guys just put in the chat, let me know if you've heard this from. And in most cases, most people, when I ask them, "Hey, where did you hear that from?" They say, "Oh, my coworker, said this," or, "Oh, my neighbor said this," or, "Oh, I was watching TV." But it's very, very rarely do I ever hear them say, "I sat down with an advisor and this is what I heard." So in most cases, it's usually people getting advice from a friend, a coworker, a neighbor, family member. All right, I think I'm back on. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, I think he has some issue with the internet. It was saying unstable or something. I don't know. Hope you guys can hear me now. So the next question is, what about inflation? Um, Again, some annuity offer increasing. Perfect. Hey, let me backtrack for a second because I froze for a little bit, right? Because I was at the part where um some objection that people may have about annuities, or things they may have heard about annuities, through their friends, their co-worker, their family member, whatever, right? And again, in most cases, these are people who are not getting true financial advice. And that is, again, what separate wealthy people from people who don't accumulate a lot of money over time. Because a wealthy person will actually sit down with an advisor to get questions answered and to get directed, in the right way, in the right position, that will benefit them. Most people do not sit down with an advisor to do that, and they're getting financial opinion from their neighbors, their co-worker, their friends, their family, spouse, whatever, right? So some of the things that people will hear out here about annuities, which I'm going to go over right now, is aren't annuities expensive and full of fees? Some are. Many variable annuities, which I mentioned earlier, but variable annuities is going to be full of fees, right? But most other annuities, like fixed annuities and index annuities, have low or even no explicit annual fees at all. So when people hear that annuities have fees, they bunch them all up together and say all annuities. No, there's one specific one that we know of that have heavy fees, and that's usually a variable annuities. Okay. The key here is working with someone who explains the fees in plain English. Um, I've been in the industry now for 17 years, almost 18. So I'm well versed, in these. I'm well versed, with these annuities, right? Um, what if the insurance company goes under? Well, I personally only work with top rated companies. A plus companies is usually who I do my business with. So those are companies that's been around for hundreds of years and they're financially sound. Okay. The next one you might hear is my money will be locked up forever. Most annuities have surrender periods. Yes. That's why we don't put all your money in an annuity. We design it as part of your overall strategy with liquid emergency funds and other accounts. As a matter of fact, most annuity application will not get approved if they don't see that you have some form of income, some form of savings on the side, or income coming in from somewhere else. And also, even though most annuities are like 10-year annuity, it doesn't mean it's locked up for 10 years. Most annuity companies allow you to withdraw 10% of what you have in there after the first year, every single year after. So again, people hear these things and they don't really get the true information. So I'm gonna give you an example. So let's say you deposit $100,000 in there, right? And let's say after the first year, an emergency comes up, they will allow you to be able to get 10% of that $100,000. That's about $10,000. Okay, so that does happen. Okay, what about inflation? Some annuities offer increasing income options. You can also combine an annuity for your guarantee base and keep other investment more for growth oriented to fight inflation. Okay. Last question is an annuity right for me? Is an annuity right for me? Well, that depends on your age, your risk tolerance, your goals, and your current accounts. Again, let me leave my number because this is why I offer a free personalized annuity assessment and also retirement planning assessment, because there's other ways that so annuity is pretty much for people that have lump sum, right? Again, you're about to hit retirement. You got a lump sum that you want to move over. You came across an inheritance. You got a lump sum that you want to, put away and invest in and stuff like that. You won the lottery, things like that. You sold a property and you have a lump sum and you don't want to sit in your account because you want it to work for you. That's usually, how people get into an annuity in most cases. And I also do other retirement plan strategy, whereas you don't have these things right here going on, but I help you start to build up to it. You understand? So again, I'm going to leave my number again. so you guys can contact me, which is 443-208-5480. That's 443-208-5480. Or you can email me at evolve@titanevolutiongroup.com. I saw Bianca. Let me see. You said yes. I can. Okay, I can hear you. I'd like to learn more. Hey, Bianca, do me a favor. Can you text me real quick so I have your contact information, and I'll chat with you afterwards. Again, that number is 443. Let me just put it here in the chat. That's my number. Text me and I'll get with you after the fact. All right. Listen, we're gonna close out, right? We're gonna close out. My question is this, and most people in America are reliant on the 401k. But you rely on something that's risky to carry you all the way through your retirement years. I personally don't know that's a good idea. And when I say risky, it's because you have the stock market effect situation. It's also loaded with a lot of fees, right? And then you got taxes that you have to account for at the end of it all, right? Now, I'm going to close out with saying this, because a lot of people get information but never act on it. Information without action changes nothing. If you have $50,000 or more right now sitting in a 401k or IRA or TSP or just in the bank, and you're within about 10 to 15 years of retirement or already retired, right? And want to know exactly what kind of guaranteed income an annuity can give you, again, my number is 443-208-5480. Okay, I would love to sit down with you. And here's the deal: this is no cost, no pressure call. Okay, but if you're losing sleep over retirement, this can give you the plan and the peace you deserve. I'm in about 15 to 20 homes a week, over 300 plus people I see a year. Well, actually, way more than that, a year, right? And 90% of the time, they either have zero retirement savings at all, or they are extremely bothered and concerned as to how they're going to survive in retirement. 90% of the time when I sit down with people. And this is the America that we are in right now, right? If you want to separate yourself from that and you want to start planning for yourself so you don't end up in that situation, you don't end up as part of the 30% of the people between the age of 50 and 66 who have zero retirement savings, or even 68% of the people between the age of 50 and 66 who say they know they don't have enough for retirement. So you have a 30% group of 50 to 66 who have $0 for retirement, and then you have 68% of the people in that group who say they know they don't have enough for retirement. If you want to separate yourself from those groups, it boils down to one thing and one thing only: taking action. Period. Listen, thank you guys for joining this live. Hey, if this is your first time again running across my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Also, too, if what you learned today, if it was valuable to you, please hit the like button. Right, it helps the algorithm push this information out because a lot of people gotta know this. And then, if you know somebody that needs to hear this, please share this with them. And I would love to hear from you. All right, listen, you guys have a wonderful and blessed rest of your Sunday. Talk to y'all soon.